It was a big day in Bangladesh. Interim ruler Muhammad Yunus presided over a crucial signing. Signing a what? Bangladesh's new July Charter. Think of it as a quasi-constitution. It details the powers of elected officials. It lists out the country's guiding principles. It also mandates reforms and policies. The only problem? It's a handshake agreement. This document was not drafted by elected officials. It was not deliberated on by a constituent assembly, and the drawbacks are evident. This new charter conveniently ignores a lot of Bangladeshi history that created and shaped this country. Simply put, it's a revisionist document. Just look at who was consulted. Yunus chaired the committee that drafted this charter. They consulted 33 political parties. I know that sounds like a lot, 33 parties, but do remember 28 registered political parties were also kept out. And these are not just parties linked to Sheikh Hasina. Many of them were independent parties. Yet Yunus kept them out. Several parties also boycotted the signing today. They say the charter does not reflect the national consensus. Just look at the numbers. 84 reform pledges are part of the charter. Only 1/3 were agreed to by all parties. The remaining have notes of dissent. And if you look at the fine print, it's clear why. The charter completely excludes the 1990 uprising. This was a mass protest against the dictatorship of H.M. Irshad. Parties across the country took part in it. Sheikh Hasina played a key role in organizing young protesters, and eventually they succeeded. The dictatorship gave way to multi-party democracy in Bangladesh. That uprising finds no mention in this charter. It talks about the partition of British India in 1947. It mentions the language movement of the 1950s. It details the liberation story of the 1970s, but no mention of the 1990s uprising. Even in the liberation story, some aspects are missing. In March 26, 1971, Bangladesh issued its Declaration of Independence. It was broadcast by Awami League officials on behalf of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. That declaration is not part of the charter. Same with the Proclamation of Independence. This was issued on April 10, 1971. That too, in the middle of Pakistan's genocide. It formed the basis of a future government in Dhaka, again excluded from the charter. The leftist parties in Bangladesh also have another complaint. They say that the country's founding principles have been ignored, like secularism, democracy, and socialism. And this complaint emerged earlier this year as well. The committee had dropped the word secularism from the charter. Instead, they inserted the word pluralism. Apparently, that's how you protect religious minorities, by scrapping secularism from your charter. Now, all these controversial moves raise a larger question. What is the legality of this charter? Is this the new rule book of Bangladesh? Again, no one knows. The country's constitution has not been scrapped. So this is basically an extra rule book, a rule book that cannot even be challenged. Because the charter says its validity cannot be challenged in courts. Meaning citizens can either take it or leave it. Is this Muhammad Yunus's grand promise of democracy, a so-called charter that dilutes Bangladesh's legacy? Now, we're not saying the country did not need changes. Some of the ideas are actually good, like curbing the powers of the Prime Minister or ensuring the independence of regulators. But reform does not mean abandoning your past. Nor does it mean unilaterally making changes. Ideally, all of this should have happened after the election, once the people have expressed their will. But as always, Yunus has put the cart before the horse.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.